जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री दिव्यान गोस्वामी भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से को जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपना श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायपुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। इस्कॉन फिलाडेल्फिया की जय। जय श्री राधा शरद बिहारी की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। परम करुणा श्री गौर निताय की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Guru and Sri Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Good morning. Welcome everyone. We will continue from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, which is the cosmic manifestation, chapter 4, which is the process of creation. Today we will cover text 3, 4. 3, 4 are together anyway, and 5. So we'll focus on 3, 4, and we'll add 5 as well. Let me share the screen. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Apracha chemamevartham yanmam pruchhata sattama krishnanubhava sravane sraddhadhana mahamanaha samstam vigyaya sanyasya karmatraivargikam yachaya vasudeve bhagavati atmabhavam drudagata पप्रच्छ चेममेवार्थं यन्मां पृच्छत सत्तमा कृष्णानुभावश्रवणे श्रद्दधान महामना संस्थां विज्ञाय सन्न्यस्य कर्मत्रैवर्गिकं च यत् वासुदेवे भगवती आत्मभावं दृढं गता पप्रच्छ चेममेवार्थं यन्मां पृच्छतो सत्तमा कृष्णानुभाव श्रवणे श्रद्दधान महामना संस्थां विज्ञाय सन्न्यस्य कर्मत्रैवर्गिकं च यत् वासुदेवे भगवती आत्मभावं दृढं गता.
You can't see the second line, second verse.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Praprachchachemam evartang yanmam prichchatta sattama Krishnanubhava shravane shraddhadhano mahamana sangstam vigyaya sanyasya karmatray vargikam chayat vasudeve bhagavati atma bhavam dridham gatah.
पप्रच्छ चेमम् एवार्थं यन्मां पृच्छत सत्तमा कृष्णानुभावश्रवणे श्रद्दधानो महामना संस्थां विज्ञाय सन्न्यस्य कर्मत्रैवर्गिकं च यत् वासुदेवे भगवती आत्मभावं दृढं गतः.
Paprachachenam evratam yanmam prachata satmaha Krishnanubhava shravane श्रद्धादानो महामना संस्थां विज्ञाय सन्न्यास्य कर्मत्रैवर्गिकं च यत् वासुदेवे भगवती आत्मभावं दृढं गता. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna. Prapatya chemam evatam yan mama vichat satmaha Krishna nubhava shravane shraddhane mahamanaha samstama vikyaya sannasya karmatraye vargikam jayat वासुदेवे भगवती आत्मभावं दृढ़ं गता. हरे कृष्ण. थैंक यू.
Thank you. Anyone else?
पृच्छचैमम् एवार्थं यन्मां पृच्छत सत्तमा कृष्णानुभावश्रवणे श्रद्दधानो महामना संस्थां विज्ञाय सन्न्यस्य कर्मत्रैवर्गिकं च यत् वासुदेवे भगवती आत्मभावं दृढं गता.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Prapachachemam avartham yanmam prichata shattama Krishnanubhavo shravane shraddadana mahamana shamstam vignaya sannasya karmatrai vargikam chayat वासुदेवे भगवती आत्मभावं दृढं गता.
Thank you. So we'll do the synonyms now. Papracha, asked, cha, also, imam, this, eva, exactly like, artham, purpose, yat, that, mam, unto me, pruchata, you're asking, sattama, O great sages, Krishna anubhava, wrapped in thoughts of Krishna, wrapped in thought of Krishna, sravane, in hearing, Sadhadanaha, full of faith, Mahamana, the great soul, Samstham, death, Vigyaya, being informed, Sannyasya, renouncing, Karma, fruit activities, Traivargikam, the three principles of religion, economic development, and sense gratification, Cha, also, Yat, what it may be, Vasudeve, unto Lord Krishna, Bhagavati, the personality of Godhead, Atmabhavam, attraction of love, Dridham, firmly fixed, Gataha, achieved. Translation: O great sages, the great soul Maharaj Parikshit, constantly wrapped in thought of Lord Krishna, knowing well of his imminent death, renounced all sorts of fruitful activities, namely acts of religion, economic development, and sense gratification, and thus fixed himself firmly in his natural love for Krishna and asked all these questions exactly as you're asking me. Purpose, purport. The three activities of religion, economic development, and sense gratification are generally attractive for conditioned souls struggling for existence in the material world. Such regulated activities prescribed in the Vedas are called the karma kandya conception of life. And householders are generally recommended to follow the rules just to enjoy material prosperity, both in this life and in the next. Most people are attracted by such activities. Even in the activities of the modern godless civilization, people are more concerned with economic development and sense gratification without any religious sentiments. As a great emperor of the world, Maharaj Parikshit had to observe such regulations of the Vedic Karma Kanda section. But by his slight association with Vasudeva, Sukadeva Goswami, he could perfectly understand that Lord Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead Vasudeva, for whom he had a natural love since his birth, is everything, and thus he fixed his mind firmly upon him, renouncing all modes of Vedic karmakandi activities. This perfectional stage is attained by a jnani after many, many births. The jnanis, or the empiric philosophers endeavoring for liberation, are thousands of times better than the fruit workers. And out of the hundreds and thousands of such jnanis, one is liberated actually. And out of hundreds and thousands of such liberated persons, even one person is rarely found who can firmly fix his mind unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna, as declared in Bhagavad Gita, as declared by the Lord himself in the Bhagavad Gita 7.19. Maharaj Parikshit is specially qualified with the word Mahamana, which puts him on an equal level with the Mahatmas described in the Bhagavad Gita. In the later age also, there have been many Mahatmas of this type, and they also gave up all karmakandi conception of life, solely and wholly depending on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Lord Chaitanya, who is Lord Krishna himself, taught us in his Sikshashtaka 8, Aslishyava padratam pinastamam adarsanam marmahatam karotva yatha tatha va vidadat lampato mat prananathast sevanapara. Lord Krishna, who is the lover of many devotees, human, may embrace this fully surrendered maidservant, or may trample me with his feet, or he may render me broken-hearted by not being present before me for a long duration of time. But still, he is nothing less than the absolute Lord of my heart. Srila Rupa Goswami spoke thus, Virachaya mahi dandam dina bandho dayamiva gatri ihana bhavataha kachid anya mamasti nipatatu satakoti nirbharam va navambaha tadapi kila payado stuyate chatakena. O Lord of the poor, do what you like with me. Give me either mercy or punishment. But in this world, I have none to look to accept. But in this world, I have none to look to accept your lordship. The Chataka bird always prays for the cloud, regardless of whether it showers rains or throws a thunderbolt. Srila Madhavendra Puri, the grand spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya, took leave of all karmakandi obligations in the following words: Sandhya vandana bhadram astu bhavato bhosnana tubhyam nama bhodeva pitarascha vidho naham kshama shamyatam yatra kwapi nisadya yadava kulattamasya kamsadvisaha smaram agam harami tad alam mannikim anyate me. O my evening prayer, all good unto you. O my morning bath, I bid you goodbye. O demigods and forefathers, please excuse me. I'm unable to perform any more offerings for your pleasure. Now I have decided to free myself from all reactions to sins simply by remembering anywhere and everywhere the great descendant of Yadu and the great enemy of Kamsa, Lord Krishna. I think that this is sufficient for me. So what is the use of further endeavors? Srila Madhavendra Puri said further, Mugdha mam nigadantu niti nipurna bhrantam mohor vaidika mandam bandhava sanchaya jada jada dhiya mukta dhara sodaraha unmatam dhanino viveka chatura kamam maha dambikam Moktum na kshamate manag api mano govinda padaspurham. Let the sharp moralist accuse me of being illusioned. I do not mind. Experts in Vedic activities may slander me as being misled. Friends and relatives may call me frustrated. My brothers may call me a fool. The wealthy Maimonites may point me out as mad. The learned philosophers may assert that I'm much too proud. Still, my mind does not budge an inch from the determination to serve lotus feet of Govinda, though I be unable to do it. And also Prahlad Maharaj said, Dharmartha kama itiyo bhi avitas trivarga ikshatrayi naya damau bibidda cha vritta varta manye tad etad akhilam nigamasya satyam swatmarpanam suhrda paramasya pumsaha. Religion, economic development, and sense gratification are celebrated as three means of attaining the path of salvation. Of these, Ikshatrai especially, that is, knowledge of the self, knowledge of fruitful acts, and logic, and also politics and economics are different means of livelihood. All these are different subjects of Vedic education, and therefore I consider them temporary engagements. On the other hand, surrendering unto the Supreme Lord Vishnu is a factual gain in life, and I consider it the ultimate truth. Bhagavatam 7.6.26. The whole matter is concluded in the Bhagavad Gita 2.41 as Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, or the absolute path of perfection. Sri Baladeva Vidyabhusan, a great Vaishnava scholar, defines this as Bhagavad Archana Rupaika Nishkama Karmabhir Visuddha Chitta, accepting transcendental loving service to the Lord as the prime duty, free from fruitive actions. So Maharaj Parikshit was perfectly right when he firmly accepted the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, renouncing all karma khandya, conception of life. This is a very, very beautiful verse. We will look into it. I have to cover one more small verse also. I'll recite by myself. Rajo vacho samichinam vacho brahman sarvagyasya tavanaga tamo visiryate mayam hare katho yato katham. Translation: Maharaj Parikshit said, O learned Brahmana, you know everything because you are without material contamination. Therefore, whatever you have spoken to me appears perfectly right. Your speeches are gradually destroying the darkness of my ignorance, for you are narrating the topics of the Lord. Purport: the practical experience of Maharaj Parikshit is disclosed herein, revealing that transcendental topics of the Lord act like injections when received by the sincere devotee from a person who is perfectly uncontaminated by material tinges. In other words, reception of the messages of Srimad Bhagavatam from professional man heard by a Karmakandya audience never acts miraculously as stated here. Devotional hearing of the messages of the Lord is not like hearing ordinary topics. Therefore, the action will be felt by the sincere hearer by experience of the gradual disappearance of ignorance. Yasya deve parabhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasyeta kathita hi artham prakasante mahatmanaha. Svetasitra Upanishad 6.23. When a hungry man is given food to eat, he feels satiation of hunger and the pleasure of dining simultaneously. Thus, he does not have to ask whether he has actually been fed or not. The crucial test of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is that one should get positive enlightenment by such an act. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschyata Desatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you so much for joining and this morning encouraging me to also read and share what I understood. Before I speak on this very important subject matter, I would like to seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas. Again, translation, O great sages, the great soul Maharaj Parikshit constantly wrapped in thoughts of Lord Krishna, knowing well of his imminent death, renounced all sorts of fruitful activities, namely acts of religion, economic development, and sense gratification, and thus fixed himself firmly in his natural love for Krishna and asked all these questions exactly as you're asking me. So, this situation we see that Parikshit Maharaj has got very short notice, and within the short notice, he could prepare himself physically and mentally what he's supposed to do, what is required to do. This couple of verses basically is a glorification of Parikshit Maharaj's state of mind, devotion. At the same time, how he could act. Many times we do even the very important projects, or even for invitation a party, we need more than a week notice, right? This is a very practical situation. By Lord Krishna, by putting Parikshit Maharaj in this situation, he is educating the whole society. Parikshit Maharaj, what Parikshit Maharaj has gone through, every one of us will be going through, sooner or later. And he was emperor. He accumulated so much, and by the role of emperor. And we also accumulate so much in our life. From the time we take birth, whether we know or not, but we inherit our parents' assets also. We accumulate ourselves in the life in a gross and subtle manner. What is the gross way we accumulate? All these assets, material assets we gather. In subtle way, our attachment to this world, people, our friends and relatives, relationships, constant. Wherever we come in contact, we develop attachment. Yehi sansparsaja bhoga. When the sense objects, when the senses come in contact with the sense objects, naturally one develops attachment. Just like when you go to marketplace, you go for some shopping, and we go for something else, but our eyes fall under an object. It looks very attractive, very cheaper price, and we start thinking, develop attachment. When you go to fruits market, we find a very nice fruits, and we develop think of it, getting it. So it is natural that in this, throughout our journey, we come in contact with so many matters and so many relationships. Everything is very, very deeply connected with us, and we feel that we have obligations, we have a responsibility, we want it. But when the situation in the life will come where one has to give up everything. everything will be taken away. I think there's a verse called Mrityu Sarvaharaschaham. Lord Krishna says, during the death, everything is taken away. So Parikshit Maharaj is very practical example for the mankind, because everyone is taken birth, has to go through Jatasya Dhruvam Janma Dhruvam Mritasya Jatasya Dhruvam Mritu Dhruvam Janma Mritasya, if I did right. So anyone who has taken birth, he has to go through it. Unfortunately, there is no preparation is done. Now, what a wonderful example Parikshit Maharaj has been given. He could have been died on the same day by Takshak. But his qualities we may not have would have been known. How he reacted to the situation in preparation for this. Today also again revisiting Maharaj Parikshit's quality, it is said that so actually Maharaj Parikshit, after hearing, he gave up everything, right? His palace, his children, his position and horses and every friends. So he gave up everything. But today's, yesterday we discussed that he was able to give up deep-rooted affection also. The giving up physically, things giving up. Materially, okay, I don't have any attachment. See, I don't have anyone with me. I'm not attached to anything. There's nothing with me now. Physically is possible by our own will or by force. And by force also, we give up so many things. We have to, we lose everything in our life. When stock market goes up and now people lose so much things. So physically is one thing, but there's another thing which is very subtle level, which is deeply rooted in our heart as affection and attachment. That is very, very difficult to give up. So interesting to notice, even if after giving up everything, Parikshit Maharaj still had a connection, looks like. Thus, Sukadeva Goswami is speaking, he also gave up everything which is deeply rooted affection in his heart. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains 2.59. Visayavinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasapyasya param dushta nivartate. A very interesting verse. Sometimes we come, as an embodied soul, we say, okay, these are the rules and regulations. You should not be doing this, you should not be doing this, and you're supposed to do this. So we follow these regulations. Our teacher has said that don't do this, and we refrain from it. But refraining from it physically doesn't mean that we are completely freed from our heart. Right? We all know that, our heart is full of so many desires. And many times those desires comes in the daytime, we feel like we don't have. When we sleep, those desires also sprouts in our heart. They're rooted, very deeply rooted. It's not very easily can be taken away superficially by forcefully. Padma Purana, we discussed in the previous verses that O prarabdha phalam papam kutam vijam phalan mukham kramenaiva praliyate Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. So the beauty of devotional service is described that the power of devotional service, bhakti purifies very quickly. And those are engaged in the devotional service, all self-full reactions, whether they're fructified or they are in the stalk or in the form of seed, and all gradually vanish. It's like you treat cancer treatment or any infection kind of thing, right? If you don't take the from the root, if you don't cure from the root, you treat and you feel good, then after a few days it again comes back. That's why when Parikshit Maharaj also asked this question to Sukadeva Goswami, what is the use of such kind of treatment? You treat today and tomorrow again comes up. Then a yuga again comes up, then yuga again comes up. What is the use of such treatments? That's why Sukadeva Goswami also gave devotional service is the only solution. As you know, transformation of the heart is very important. Therefore, the purifying potency of devotional service is very strong. It is called Pavitram Uttamam, which is the purest. So in all activities, devotional service is very much recommended. It's very powerful, very potent, and proved by example of Parikshit Maharaj, how he could very easily give up everything very easily. Now, not only he gave up, there's another thing is he could fix his mind, firmly fix his mind to Lord Krishna. Many times that's not very practical also. He fixed himself firmly in his natural love for Krishna. So Prabhupada says that it's not possible. It's not possible. So it says that, because Prabhupada said this attaining this situation is even not possible for jnanis. Among hundreds of thousands of jnani, one will be very liberated. Rarely liberated. Among such liberated person, one will rarely, what it says, remember Krishna, I believe. Jnana is the empirical philosophers, and 1,000 times are better than the fruit workers. And out of hundreds of thousands of such jnanis, one is liberated factually. And out of hundreds of thousands of such liberated persons, one person is rarely found to be firmly fixed his mind unto the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. This is a very very, very rare thing, Krishna says, So that's why Parikshit Maharaj is especially qualified. Here is called Mahamana. Mahamana is called Mahamana, which puts him on an equal level with Mahatmas. So Prabhupada gives examples of a few Mahatmas. We will go through. Let me share it quickly. It's very nice. We will not go through details, but quickly go through it. So Mahatmas here. What are the one Mahatma he mentions is that of is Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami came in association with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was a very, very rich person with so much of responsibility. So he said that do what you like with me. Later stage, he said, do whatever you like with me. Give me either mercy or punishment. But in this world, I have none to look except your lordship. The Chatraka bird always prays for the cloud, regardless of whether it showers rains or throws a thunderbolt. Now, this kind of situation, when complete dependence on the Supreme Lord, is not very easily achieved. Cannot be. Now, I remember, I used to cultivate some of the people during Corona time when they got sick. And they're having health problem, this, that is having. Shastra says that take complete shelter of, Lord Krishna. But they wanted to find solution. Why? Well, even if you are praying to Lord Krishna now, why it's not acting on us? I don't know if I put it properly. So I'm praying, they're praying, Krishna, please, but why it's not working? So we need solution to it. So they take whatever solution is needed and shelters, they have to take shelter, they did it. But here Rupa Goswami's situation is that in all circumstances, we are only dependent on you. Vivasayatmika buddhi. Then Madhavendra Puri also, in similar way, have so many obligations in the whole life. I felt I'm supposed to do things, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do this. We all supposed to do this. Just as this verses, Parikshit Maharaj could, as an emperor, he had so many responsibilities. Now he was child, through childhood he was connected with Krishna, natural, but because he was an emperor, he had to engage in uh, um, fruitful activities, namely acts of religion, dharma, artha, and kama, sense gratification. It is you have to do as a family. But yeah, those dharma, those activities, those what we do now. I may be working in an IT company, but not necessarily that is needed last moment of my life. Or it may be useful for me last moment of my life. So it is recognized that yes, dharma, artha, kama is needed, but they all ultimately it has to focus and prepare us in the final journey preparation for last moment of our life. Ante Narayana Smriti. Now, how good easily we could remember Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, and that shows our preparation in our life. So Madhavendra Puri also is the example Prabhupada is giving, that recent years, Prabhupada, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's grand spiritual master, he also said, let people humiliate me. I may be frustrated. They can call me, I'm frustrated. This guy is crazy. This way, engage always Hare Krishna, going to Krishna temple, not watching movie, not drinking, not engaging anything. They may call me so many things. But, I don't mind. I don't want to, does not budge an inch from the determination to serve Lord Lotus feet of Govinda. And Prahlad Maharaj previously, it's not recent, of course. Prahlad Maharaj also done the similar thing. He gave religion, economic development, sense gratification are celebrated as three means of attaining path of salvation. Of these, Ikshatraya, especially knowledge of the self, knowledge of the fruit works, logic, politics, economic, there are different livelihoods given in the Vedas. Vedas also provides. So one does not completely reject, but one has to prepare himself in such a way that when we last moment of our life, at least, we should be able to very easily give up all of them very easily. Because so Parikshit Maharaj asked these two questions: what a person is supposed to do, and especially at the time of death, right? Especially at the time of death. So, we cannot give up our day-to-day activities, body. Either we have to maintain our body, but do everything in such a way that keeping Krishna in the center. So in further, the next verse, it is mentioned that Parikshit Maharaj, what did Parikshit Maharaj say? He asked this question. He said, because you know everything, you are without material contamination. He's referring to Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, whatever you have spoken to me appears to be perfectly right. It says that by hearing Sukadeva Goswami's statements, Parikshit Maharaj is seeing that it is working on me. You may guidance, but the guidance doesn't work for us, so we will not be satisfied. So Parikshit Maharaj is like visiting a doctor, consulting a doctor, and doctor consults this, and you see that it's working. When it's working, you will be conviction that, oh, okay, yes, now it's working. So similarly, by associating with Sukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj could see that his ignorance in the heart is destroyed very easily. The desire for all this karma kandya stuff for sense gratification, everything is getting destroyed, and he's become firmly fixed in Lord Krishna's remembrance, which is not possible. Thus, he fixed himself firmly in natural love for Krishna and asked all these questions. Exactly, you asked me. So, in the little further notes I have it, I will share that what are the question answer being asked. Sutta Goswami is saying, whatever you are asking, so Parikshit Maharaj also asked same thing. When Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami both met together, because being a pure devotees of the Lord, naturally they would inquire about the Lord Krishna. So similarly, here also, Sutta Goswami and Sages Naimisaranya, they're also discussing. What discussion has been done? Please tell us. What discussion has been done? Please tell us. So solution is, even life has to be prepared in such a way that even in the difficult situation, one should very easily give up such desires very easily and take shelter of Lord Krishna very sincerely. Another thing is, the inquiry is the very key. What we ask is very key. Devotees' genuine inquiry has been appreciated here by Sutta Goswami and Sukadeva Goswami also, both. Because only when the right inquiries are made, this conversation happens. It's a conversation. When it happens, Lord Krishna's subject matter manifest. When Lord Krishna's subject matter manifest, it purifies the heart, deeply rooted in our heart with so much of lusty desires. That will go away. And Vyavasayatma Buddhi, to serve and remember Lord Krishna, will be manifest in our heart. So here, Parikshit Maharaj is especially qualified as with the word Mahamana. Mahamana means he could very easily remember Lord Krishna. He was, but now with association of Sukadeva Goswami, he gave up things very easily which was not needed. He could focus on what is needed, which is completely remembering Lord Krishna in his heart. So with this, I would like to stop it here. Quick comment, how the process works when we take this sincerely by following the footsteps of Sukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj. We can see how it was bhakti, the hearing process and devotional service quickly purify him. We all can do. And I'm dealing with some of the patients here with my own relation also. I'm seeing that nothing works. You may think that last minute you will provide solution. Okay, now you do this, you do this, you do this. It doesn't work. But Parikshit Maharaj is appreciated because how fast he could purify in association of Sukadeva Goswami because of his devotion and upbringing, at the same time, association of Sukadeva Goswami. Hare Krishna. So I took a little longer because of the two slokas were there. I will look for corrections, comments, or questions. Thank you. Vishnu Prabhu, any corrections?
No corrections. So you were mentioning in the beginning about going to the market. I guess you go to the market and you look and you see things that this is a cheaper thing or that. And so then you get some of the desires come. So with your knowledge of Krishna consciousness, how do you do things differently?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Very nice. Thank you. That we did those things in the past, and we are doing in Krishna consciousness also. So yeah, before Krishna consciousness, we used to do, whenever we see a particular food, we develop desire. I want to eat it. It's for my own sense gratification we desire, right? Now, whenever we see, now I'm not a pure devotee. So whenever I see now, even if I develop desire to have it, I bring it for Krishna. That's change in me. But I have seen in our society also, in the community, I have seen the devotees, they look like very ordinary devotees, but the heart is, oh, I will take this for Krishna. You know? So before we were thinking, oh, I like it, I do for my satisfaction. Now devotees see that, okay, I want for Krishna satisfaction. It's a very practical solution Prabhupada has given. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you for bringing this up. But for me, yeah, I still have, when I see something, we develop desire, but you purify it. For Krishna's satisfaction. Offering as, yajna, offering food to Krishna, and then you eat it. That's that change has happened. On the other hand, another thing also, at least now we know that not everything you like is recommended. So now at least we know that. Another thing, what to accept and what not accepted. Example, we can say onion, garlic, very simple example. Those days we used to accept. Now, even if you like, you don't accept it. So that's what many people I have come across also last desire, when they want to leave this world. So they generally ask, okay, what you want? Oh, I want to eat this. People ask this, they have this desire. I like to eat this. Does anyone know that? Such things? People, so you can see still at last, but also they have deep-rooted. So many things happens in the heart, so many things. But I would like to eat this. This is one of the example. But bhakti acts very, scientifically, very nicely, that can come up very easily. So that's my answer, Vishnu Prabhu, on this. Any other way? You have any other suggestion on that?
No, thank you.
Yes. Yeah. The one thing, I don't know if others has a question or comment, is one thing, I was meditating on this, is looking at their life is, suddenly someone comes to tells you, okay, you were living in this house, everything, I'm giving this 3 days notice or 7 days notice. Get out of this house. How we will react? How will we react? We will react based on our conditioning with this situation. Sometimes people fight. Sometimes people say, I don't want to move out of this. Sometimes people go with the court case. Everything we'll defend for whatever way I would like to do. But the saintly person, who are self-realized person, for themselves, they did not act like this. Even Bharat Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, they all either voluntarily gave up or gave up out of notice. Very easily, life has to be prepared in such a way that we are ready to give. Because today, this test is for everyone. It's not for only Parikshit Maharaj. It is for everyone. I heard some devotees say, oh, I'm going to give this money to Krishna when I leave this world. Just giving an example. So I will give this money to Krishna when I leave this world, but I'm not giving now. Right? So I noticed it's a good thinking that you're trying to give this money to Krishna. Whether you give or not, it belongs to Krishna anyway. It's going to remain in this world. So the act has to be done now. Rather, when we go, everything goes, that will belong to Krishna anyway. Maybe from you, it goes to some other person, from other way it goes to, then finally it comes to Krishna only, or by default, everything belongs to Krishna. So in subtle way, we have to be prepared, purify further ourselves, so that not only externally we give up our desires and our wrong activities, material activities. Also, cleansing our heart, which is very deeply rooted, because that depends on our what mindset, yam, whatever the mindset we have at the last moment of our life. That needs to be, you need to work on the deep, which is deeply rooted in our heart, and be successful. I know it's difficult, but this process assures that, yeah, he could do it. And so many others also did it. We also can do it. But it has to be done in very sincerely with that purpose in mind. If no one has any comments, should we stop it here?
I have a question.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. This material world is Krishna's creation.
Mm-hmm.
This is Krishna's beautiful creation, and everything belongs to Krishna.
Mm.
And we enjoy the material objects. At the same time, we remember Krishna all the time, but enjoy the material objects in moderation, remembering Krishna all the time. Is it okay?
Yeah, that's very good. Even Prabhupada said that Krishna connection has to be there. Even if you're drinking wine, if you drink wine and think Krishna, this taste of Krishna, remember Krishna, that purification begins. But as we purify ourselves in advanced stage, what happens? Now I'm not doing anything for my satisfaction. From that stage, we have to move ourselves to the next stage. Now I want to do for Krishna's satisfaction. Okay, because it's a gradual process. Whatever you say, that's very good. Whatever you do, you remember Krishna. And you see that, look at the nature, you remember Krishna. You drink water, you remember Krishna. You eat some favorite food, you remember Krishna. Wow, how Krishna has made this tasty food. The taste is that. So that is a advanced consciousness also. But devotees, but the reason I'm adding this is because you say that at the beginning, we enjoy the material object and we remember Krishna. So the subtle point is there. We do not, our desire for enjoyment has to transform. Krishna Indriya Trupti. I want to satisfy Krishna's desire. And Krishna will give us the remnants to enjoy this world. Krishna samsara karo chhadi anachar. I think Narottam Das Thakur says that. Krishna samsara karo chhadi anachar. Anachar means anything you do without Krishna. And if you do everything in keeping Krishna at the center, let me do this festival, let me cook for Krishna. It's not like I cook because I like it. Yeah, that's the beginning stage. But as we advance, Krishna likes it, let me do it. And enjoyment comes by default with it. One doesn't, in advanced stage, one doesn't tries to enjoy separately.
Yeah.
Krishna is the enjoyer and I'm enjoyed. Prakriti is enjoyed. Krishna is the Purusa enjoyer. And when the service is given, when enjoyed, offers himself or herself for Krishna's satisfaction, enjoyment is natural.
Yeah, so we gradually move to the next stage. This is the beginning. Okay, understood. Thank you very much.
Bindyavali Mataji want to say something? Yes.
Prabhu, the way you said Parikshit Maharaj, the 7 days, I experienced in my life, and in Delhi, my husband was working for a company, long time, like 10, 12 years. Suddenly, something happened and he had to vacate the house, that is company house, with small children. But Krishna showed mercy. He had another job in hand. So we had to vacate that house in just 1 week with small children. We had to, some nice people, Krishna showed everything. There we had to go to somebody's house, take all the furniture, things and everything, and we moved to somebody's house. From there we moved to Calcutta. with another job. So that happened, but without questioning, we just moved out. And at that time, I just felt I was young. I felt a little bit uncomfortable. I said, you know what, you worked a long time for this company and you gave your life in Saturdays, Sundays, you used to work. And we always used to fight, oh, Saturday also you go to work. But I just realized at that time I felt uncomfortable to doing that, happening that. But without saying anything, my husband moved to Calcutta. We had to move within 1 week time and arranging everything. So that was a life story for me. It is something. Krishna's mercy, if you have, so things will happen. That's how it happened in my life.
Very nice. Were you a devotee that time?
Normally, like not just Krishna only. I just pray all the God and Goddess in India. We know from childhood. We both, whatever I do, he never said no. But it happened like that.
Now you can see Krishna's hand behind it.
Yes.
See?
Now I see.
That's true. Yeah, Krishna, he gives us Krishna.
Yeah.
So that, if
practical experience in my life.
Yeah, if you're comfortably situated, everything going well, the Vyavasayatmika buddhi will not come. The determination to surrender to Krishna will not come. Everything's all right. Why should I do it? So all these experiences we get by the special mercy of the Lord.
These are life experiences.
Yes. We appreciate, and it should inspire us to do more and more. Just like Parikshit Maharaj is asking more and more questions, the sages are asking more and more questions. By hearing more and more, their desire for material world is diminishing, and rapt attention to hear Lord Krishna's message about Lord Krishna is increasing. That's the symptom of our progress. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So we'll stop it here. Vancha kalpatarvyascha kripa sindhuvevacha patitanam pavanebhyo